All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Merkakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Now, this lesson is going into, they will call us evil because we want righteous judgment, man. All right? We want righteous judgment, to come upon this world. And these people are friends of the world, So once again, they will call us evil for wanting righteous judgment, man. For righteous judgment to be executed, all right, upon this world because they are friends of the world. All right. Now, when you get when you read, I believe that's the book of Proverbs, the scriptures say how the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning and the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. All right, because the heart of the wise, the prudent, they're the ones that are in the house of mourning. They're sighing and crying unto the Lord. All right, because of wickedness flourishing, because there's a lack of judgment. The scriptures speak about how it is time for thee, O Lord, to work because they have made void thy law. All right, even when you read, I got the book of Habakkuk, right? This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 2. It says, O Lord, Yahweh, how long shall I cry and thou wilt not hear? Even crying to thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Why dost thou shew me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there that raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. So this is a complaint unto the Lord. This is a mourning, a sighing and crying unto the Lord. All right, that the law is slack, that judgment doth never go forth. And it says what? For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth, man. And see, the believers, those that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, they come in this stead, they come in this spirit. And the world is going to call them evil, all right, because they want righteous judgment to come upon the world, man. All right, because these people are friends of the world. All right, and they love this world. And the scriptures say what? How the whole world lieth in wickedness. That's why the scriptures speak about how, let me get that, God. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him, man. All right. And see, you have the Lord's elect that what? They're looking for the new heaven and new earth. That are, when you read the book of Peter, which quoted the book of Isaiah, how what? We look for a new heaven and new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. The new world, man. That's going to be ruled and executed. Salaki, that's going to be ruled by the righteous, the sons of God. And righteous judgment is going to be executed because this world is under the vibration of the wicked. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. But soon the world is going to be under the vibration of the righteous, man. And that's what the Lord's elect are sighing and crying for. They're looking for the new heaven and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. They're looking for the Lord to return and execute righteous judgment. All right. So when we go back to the book of Habakkuk, all right, this is basically, that's why the scriptures say the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. Okay. Now, when we get Isaiah 59, this is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 15, it says, yeah, truth faileth. All right. This is a world full of lies and deception, darkness, man. Okay. All right. These people are spiritually dead because they're without this truth. They're without this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this light. Okay. This is a world full of lies and deception and delusion, man. Okay. It says, yeah, truth faileth. And he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. Okay, and that's the point. And this is why, once again, they're gonna make us out to be evil because we want righteous judgment, because we want the Lord to judge this world. We want the Lord to put everything in his rightful order. They're gonna paint us evil, but this is why the scriptures say what? Woe unto him that calleth evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. The scriptures say, woe unto them. All right, woe unto him, roughly paraphrasing. All right. But it says, he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey by who? By the wicked. All right. Because him that departed from evil, because you have the Lord's elect that are departing from evil, and not only that, they're calling it out. That's why the scriptures speak about rebuke, reprove, correct. And the men of the Lord, they're rebuking, reproving, and correcting the nation of Israel. All right. And Jake is getting stubborn. You know, that's why the scriptures say ye despise this word and trust in oppression. You know, roughly paraphrasing, man. You know. All right, this is where the scriptures go into the time of persecution. This is how all this finna play out. All right, because they're gonna paint the believers to be evil. Okay, but it says, let me read it again. It says, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord Yahweh Shemawashai saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. But see, the Lord is gonna. This is why the scriptures say it is time for thee, O Lord Yahweh Shemawashai, to work, because they have made void thy law. You see, the law is slack. Judgment doth never go forth. The wicked compasseth about the righteous. Therefore, wrong judgment proceeded. It's time for this is why the Lord is working, because the Lord is finna the Lord is hearing the sighing and the crying and the mourning of the righteous. You know. Okay, so let's get this. This is Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemawashai, unto the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Now, the point I wanted in this verse is that what? Therefore wait ye upon me. All right, saith the Lord, because that's basically what we're supposed to do. All right, we're supposed to suffer and wait patiently on the Lord to vindicate, to justify, and to avenge us, man. All right, we're not supposed to take actions into our own hands, because that's the thing. Because they want to. This is why because they're gonna paint all these false accusations, when in reality the Lord's men, all right, the believers are blameless. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemawashai. All right, and they're gonna, man. This is how it's going, man. It's gonna be crazy, man. All right, but the point is that they're gonna paint us to be evil because we want righteous judgment, man. They're gonna paint us to be domestic tea and extremist group. They already got that. All right, and we already know how this devil works. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, crisis actors, auto op KO, this devil, he agent provocateurs, he pay these people to go do these man, this devil, man, he paid these certain men or women to go do these certain acts of terror or whatever it is. And he tries to tie them back to the ministry. All right. You have these sellout jakes that take money from Esau to try to basically to put blame on the ministry, man. All right. But the point is that the time of persecution is fastly approaching. Okay. But man, let me what's that? What did I want? 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 3. It says, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of God, in much patience and afflictions and necessities and distresses, man. Because in this wicked world where you have those that are sighing and crying unto the Lord, they're supposed to wait patiently. They're supposed to suffer and endure and wait upon the return of. This is why the Lord is working. All right, because they're the ones that sign and crying unto him, and they're not supposed to go out into the world and try to take things into their own hands and get the ministry blame. No, man, this devil and these niggas, they gonna be found a false accuser. All right, and they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be judged, man. Okay, so man, This is Luke chapter 18 verse 1. It says, and this is the Lord speaking. It says, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men are always to pray and not to faint. And if I'm not mistaken, when you go into the word pray, pray goes into beg, man. Once again, that's sighing and crying unto the Lord. It says, saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith. Shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them, long suffering? All right. And we have to be long suffering, just like the Lord is long suffering, man. All right. So this is the point. OK, you have those that are patiently they're suffering and patiently waiting on the Lord to execute righteous judgment, man. All right. And you're going to have these people of this world. They're going to paint the believers and those that are patiently waiting on the Lord as evil because they want righteous judgment to come upon this world, because these people are friends of the world. All right. Let's get some more. All right. These people, they love this world, man. All right. They love this world. This is their world. All right. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 11. It says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. And what were the prophets doing? They was rebuking and reproving and correcting and speaking the words of the Lord. All right. And they despise and niggas despise truth. All right. They despise this light. They despise the word of the Lord. Okay. And as the scripture, it said what? For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you, man. All right. So man. All right. Let's get some more. Let's get man. Let's get some more. James 4:4. It says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of the Lord, man, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, because this world is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And the scriptures say, what manner of man the ruler of the city is, so are the people. And this is why the world is in the vibration of wickedness, because the wicked beareth rule over the world. All right. And what when we read Habakkuk, it said what? The law is slacked. Judgment doth never go forth. The wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. And this is why you have the wise that are in the house of mourning, that are sighing and crying unto the Lord, for the Lord to bring righteous judgment, for the Lord to work. All right. And they're going to be painted as evil because they want the Lord to bring righteous judgment upon this wicked world, man. You know? So con, man. But we understand that the Lord's elect are blameless. All right. The Lord is going to justify and vindicate and avenge his elect. All right. They won't have to do anything. That's why the scriptures say, wait ye upon me. The scriptures say, vengeance belongeth unto the Lord. All right. We're not supposed to go out into the world, and try to do our own thing and, get the ministry blamed. And no, man. All right. The scriptures say to wait patiently on the Lord, sighing, crying to the Lord. All right. So let's get this. This is John chapter 8, verse 44. And this is the Lord speaking to them niggas, man. All right. Speaking to Jake. All right. It says, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. And because, man, just like back then, when the Lord was on the earth 2,000 years ago, who was ruling? The Romans, which were Edomites, the so-called white men. The same people ruling today over this revived Roman Empire, which is America, NATO, and the EU. All right. And Jake loved this devil and his world, man. All right. Jake loved Esau's world, man. Okay? It says, ye of your father, the devil, the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. What we read earlier, yeah, the truth faileth. He that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. It says, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh, it says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it, man. And the devil, it was Esau, man. Okay? All right? The devil is speaking of Esau. The physical counterpart of Satan on the earth. All right? And when you go to, let's get, Revelation, I should have that. Revelation chapter 12. This is the book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his anointed, Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And this is speaking of Esau. Esau is the accuser of the brethren. Now I bring this out because when you read verse 9, it's going into what? That great dragon. All right. That old serpent called the devil and Satan. Which when you go into this, speaking of Esau and his power structure, man, his kingdom. All right. Now you had ancient pagan Rome. Okay. But then in these last days, you will have this revived Roman Empire, which is America, NATO, and the EU. America being a whore that sitteth upon the beast. All right. When you read above, it goes into what? The great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right. The Roman Empire, this fourth beast. Okay. And when you read Revelation 17, it says what? A scarlet colored beast having 7 heads and 10 horns, with scarlet goes into crimson red. And it says what? A woman sitteth upon that beast. And this going into America, NATO, and the EU, this revived Rome. You see this great dragon, the old serpent, the devil and Satan. This speaking of Esau. All right. And when you get the word devil, all right, because the Lord was speaking to Jake, he was saying how ye of your father the devil. Right. When you get the word devil, was this speaking of Esau, man? All right. When you get this word devil, all right, it just said what? The accuser of our brethren. It says profane. It says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, false accuser, slanderer, man. And Jake, you gonna have niggas they're gonna aid in the persecution of the men of the Lord. All right, you gonna have, because these the same niggas, as the scriptures say, that so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right. That's why the Lord said how let's get that, man. Let's get that real quick. Try to find that. This is Matthew chapter 23 verse 30. It says, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Right? Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. All right. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell, man? So all right. It says fill ye up the measure of your fathers. And them same niggas is back today. All right. But man, the point is that they're gonna paint us to be evil, because we want the Lord to bring righteous judgment, man. Because these people are a friend of the world. But guess what? The believers, the Lord's elect, are friends of him. All right, are friends to him, are his friends. This is John 15, verse 14. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call ye no more servants, For the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Right? And the scriptures say what? John 15:18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. You see? All right? But because you're not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you, man. And what? The chosen out of the world, that's what? A symbol of what? Sanctification. All right? Being made separate. And the scriptures say what? I have sanctified them through thy word. Slack, I'm probably butchering it, man. I have sanctified them. I have sanctified them through thy truth. Thy word is truth, mankind. And that's the point. All right? I have sanctified them through thy truth. Thy word is truth, man. Okay? And they can't receive this word. They can't receive this truth. You know? But that's really the point. All right? That's really the point. All right? But the Lord is going to defend his elect, man. You know? But that's really the point. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it out. Give infinite praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and sight.